face off. We're gonna talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. Talk your face off. To talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off.
Hey, I'm feeling uber talkative tonight.
You see the smoke coming off my hair? I just
On fire.
Oh man. Thanks for taking over solo you last week, man.
Yeah, last minute.
Yeah, thank you.
It was all right. I didn't have enough to fill the time, but
You know.
I got dark with things, so it got good. The inner
Nice.
workings of it all.
Yeah. I like it. Dude, I was
How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm like I always try to not say like I'm too busy or that I'm like extra. I mean, it's hard to say that I'm like, I try to consciously sometimes not be like, oh, I've been so busy, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Because I know there's people that are like trying to handle so much more than I am right now. But it has been a wild 2 weeks for us. Just catching up with work, finishing off that big project, and then our my major schedule change, which it's brutal. Today, so I'm trying to get to work by 6 in the morning, and I'm at work till 3, and then I pick up the kids, and then I have a couple hours until we do whatever it is. If it's doing, what's it called? Going to soccer practice, going to graffiti, practicing RC cars at the track, whatever it is. What does that say? Power dash. Out.
Finish.
Out. So like today, high speed motor, baby. Today it was like I had a walk-in that turned into like a 3-hour meeting. And then I went from that, came in, picked up my kid, turned around, like literally just turned around, went to soccer practice, came back, had a bowl of cereal, and now I'm here again. Not even a leisurely bowl of cereal. I'm talking big spoon, just feed me. It was brutal. But no, it's been good, man. It's lots of stuff going on. RC wise. Lots of
big announcements today.
Yeah. Dude, I am like I'm super excited for this release, and I'm super excited for what's coming down the stream from Element.
Yeah.
And I
want to tell everybody about it.
If you guys,
I don't care who knows it.
Yeah, I know. I want to scream it from a mountaintop.
Elf.
Oh, that one. I thought you were talking about
who knows it.
What's it called, of Anchorman, where he's like, I don't have a mountaintop, I have a microphone. Now, but the last 2 Element releases, well, I shouldn't say that. The last 2 major releases were the Sendero SE, and then the U-Tron. And I think it gradually built. So like the Sendero SE, I think people were kind of, some people saw the value in that as like a kit that you could really build off of, and you get all the stuff there for a good price.
Harley saw the bushings.
Yes, he saw the bushing. That's what he saw in it. Yeah. But then the U-Tron, I think the body would grow on you if you got it in front of you.
I still like the body. When I saw it in person,
I
really like the body.
Yeah. And I think it continues to grow on you. And then they had the green Bushido, which I think it looked better in green. What's that?
Short wheelbase.
No, normal wheelbase, like 12. It's 12.3. It's just a huge brick of a body.
Oh yeah, because it should be a short truck.
It should be, but it's just
they did it as a 12.3, and so it looks really big. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's what she said. But I like the green one. I think it looks way better. And then they did the scratch and sniff Sendero S or
I
HD.
like that one too, but
Dude, I like that one a
I like the
lot.
whole scratch and sniff idea in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bunch of people in here. Eddie's RC, he says, I really like the Utron, which is one that I would have seen him liking, honestly.
Yeah.
It's such a scale builder. But
well, and I think that's the hard part is that the proportion was just a little like it was fine, but it kind of made you kind of like do one of these like am I seeing that right? Like, like it was good.
yeah.
Sakuraj 13 says, I love the Utron. Mine is nice. Made a few changes, added night customs roll bar. Got to get out and run it. Yeah, it's actually it's under, I would say it's highly underrated for how capable it is. Super highly underrated. I mean, it is
waiting for you to say understable. That's how much disc golf I've been watching. I'm sorry, everybody.
But then they came out with this new one, the Zuul.
Yeah.
And
cool name.
Cool name for sure.
Some geek name that, for sure.
But I love the styling of it. I think the styling is awesome. And
for what they're going for without licensing, I dig the choices they're making.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'd say that too about the Utron.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unique is what it is. It's different from what everyone else is seeing. It's not another Bronco. I
thought, maybe next time they should try to do a power wagon. Like just, if they want to know what I think they should do.
You're like, I really like the power wagon.
They should
so
ready to run power wagon.
They confused me. I honestly thought that it was going to be an IFS Ecto.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I saw that one coming, and then they threw the curveball. There's a lot of stuff on that one that the details will be coming out soon. But like one of the things that I really like, it's got the nice aluminum shocks on it.
Okay.
And so it's not the Pen shocks that the Utron comes with or the Sendero SE comes with. It's the actual back to the roots. And they're silver. They're not that tan color, that bronze color. And I love that. I love the silver shocks because they look so good with the blue caps and the blue rings on it.
Any images to show of their new truck?
It's everywhere on Instagram. I don't have anything on me.
I have access
to
the Instagrams, and I can pull them up for people.
Nice. Yeah, so
I was working on something. Thanks, guys. Now I can't work on it anymore. Thanks.
What a jerk.
Why don't you read out who's here in the chat while I pull this up?
All right. So I'm gonna go back up to the top here. Let's go. XJ Sport 95. Hello.
Let's go. You sound like a fishing channel. Let's go.
Vamonos. Travis Custom RCs Racing Case 87. These old flapping lips. Blue Dually 4x4. What's up, Joe Girding? Guru RC Tankers T68. RC Jeep Guy B Kochner. Psycho Garage at Ease. Mir Deef. Needle Juice. Who else? And that's what we got. Oh, I know, right? It looks delicious.
Do they come with lights?
Electric. That's a mouthful.
Eclectic
Rooster.
Electric.
What's up?
Oh, you can see the shocks right there.
Yeah.
You know what works really good on this truck?
A Reefs Raw 500 Brass Edition.
Yeah, if you have the on-axle steering from Gale Metal Supplies.
Yep. You know what I'm doing.
That's where that's going right there.
Yep. XJ Sports says, desert sand color. Dude, look at the details. Look at them. Tony, look at them.
I'm looking at
at them.
I have two screens I can look at.
Look at them. Look at that roll bar. Comes with
There
the
is a
roll
roll bar.
or the light bar.
They did get the KC
I know.
headlights at least sponsor. Yeah, I just like this truck in general. The Ecto
The setup.
platform. So
Yeah. It's got the gatekeeper
oops.
suspension on it. Delicious.
Yeah,
I
trim
like
arms in the rear.
gold. Yeah.
Lots of pre-applied stickers that you don't have to apply yourself.
Comes with a sway bar already.
I went too far.
Ah, you did.
That looks really good though.
It does.
Oh my
I
gosh.
know. So the other thing that's different about this one is it comes with 4.19 tires. So it's a little more quote unquote in the scale realm. I hope when I get mine that I can get a ton of shots of it with the 4.19s and then be like, adios. We're going with the 4.9s. Trepidors. Just kidding.
I think somebody put
It's upside
fingerprints
down.
on mine.
It could be that, or it could be like Step Brothers. Their drum set.
These things are so shiny in person. Yeah. Like there's so much shine.
It's nice.
And they give you the weight right on here, 5.2 ounces, 145.2 grams.
So does it feel like heavy?
Feels like heavy metal, baby.
Really? Can you noticeably tell a difference?
Oh yeah, of this case?
Yeah.
This case is heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got heft to it. It feels like probably 2 or 3 of the originals. At least 2.
Addie says the peel here case stickers are a great improvement.
Oh, it does have an open little thing. Yeah.
Yeah, except
I just cut them though.
I know, but you got to find them sometimes. Greetings from Wisconsin, Ty Joe.
Did they pay extra for? Oh, it's not even stuck there, so you can easily get it to pop up.
One-handed. Comes
Let's take a
apart
look
for
at
easy
this.
cleaning. There's one on the other side.
I'm gonna put a fingerprint on it right now.
Do it.
Ready?
Do it. Do it.
Oh. Can't ASMR that, but that would have been nice.
You can blind people out though with your with the bling. Can't hear
I just want to
because
feel the weight of it without the case. Like,
what's up, AE fanboy? Can't hear because I'm at a gym with a bunch of screaming high school kids watching my daughter, but good stuff.
dude,
Good stuff, man.
it's heavy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
rad. I wonder how well that it's gonna like clearly it'll hold up. Like he doesn't just throw stuff out there, but you know what I mean? Like under normal conditions, like
I mean, the internals of it are gonna hold up like a regular raw,
oh
right?
yeah.
So,
Oh no,
you
absolutely.
just mean the finish of it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. It's gonna tarnish.
It's gonna get all green. You know, if I was
I need to now wipe this down with a very nice cloth. And sorry, Reef, I'm not gonna do a video on this. As much as people are gonna see of this, and I'm gonna put it on a shelf over there.
I want
a pin light on it.
What I want to see you do is I want to see you do a video of it, but wear white gloves while you're installing it.
Oh yeah, that would be great. It's too late. I've already got a big old fingerprint on it. Killed that.
Yep. That's nice though.
Went down $50 in value with that fingerprint.
Yep. Yep. But now you could take a piece of Scotch tape and then open your old iPhone 8 with it. Just steal
my fingerprint off it.
Yeah, man.
So that's actually, it is going on my Element Ecto.
Is it? Nice.
Yeah, I got the on-axle steering for it.
Nice.
I don't want to put that much weight up in the chassis, so
yeah.
That's where that's going. And I'll have to be removing the wheels and tires. Most notably the tires.
Dude,
truck.
So I'm building. I have that one car that's been sitting around for a while. The what's it called? The base camp kit. And I'm trying to get to that point where I can work an hour a day on the RCs in the morning at the shop. Hasn't proved successful yet, but I've been setting up my backdrop for it here
Okay.
and there. But I was looking at tires because I was like, I love my tires. I love those Baja Pro X's. They're like my Frank's Red Hot, but I feel like I need to change up the tires. And I almost bought a set of the Hustlers just to prove you wrong. Just to be like, oh, look how capable this car is. And
I just watched the video again of it at Crawler Space because somebody sent a message saying those tires are garbage. I'm like, I go back and watch it. Now, I'm still new. Like, I haven't really run them yet. And I'm like, oh man, these rocks are slippery and whatever. And then it's just like, I got through, but then I watched everybody else do it like it was no problem. And I'm just like,
I soaked yours in WD-40.
Yeah. Well, that
sprayed
should
some silicone on it. I sprayed silicone on them afterwards.
Makes them gummy if you do that. But yeah, I'll be putting some landmines on that.
Nice.
I just saw the comments about the bad gold member voice. Totally know that.
Sorry.
I'm not very good at voices either, so that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah. No, I'm pumped, man. Like, I am seriously pumped about this element stuff. I am seriously pumped about this new rig. I want to see it all lit up. And the new tire, they're not new tires, but it's a new size of that tire.
Yep.
Because it used to come on the first Trail Walker. So the Trail Walker? I think so. No, it came with the Forerunner too, the Night Runner, the first one, the small 3.89 or whatever they were, but now they bumped it up to 419. So yeah, I'm excited for it. What else did we have? So,
I have something, but you go ahead.
I was gonna say, Gran Turismo.
Yes,
dude,
you're hooked.
Well,
have you played it?
Not since I was like 17.
It looks so good.
It does. It looks really good.
Looks like, why would you want to drive a real car after you could drive that?
Dude, the movie.
There was too much of this, the playback shots, though, so it's really hard to gauge
the movie
gameplay. Oh, the movie?
I'm talking about the movie. What are you talking
about? Talking about video game stuff. Never mind.
Nah. Talking about the movie. The Gran Turismo movie was solid. It was awesome. Yeah, it was actually really, really good. So my mom wanted to see it for her birthday. I was like, done, let's go. And so my mom, stepdad, sister, me, and the kids went, and it was awesome. Like, my son he looked at me after the whole deal and was like, now you can see my laundry pile behind me. Thanks a lot, Tony. Anyways, my son turned to me and he said, that's probably top 2 movies I've seen. Like, it was really good. And the storyline was good. If you've got a son, the storyline's good because it kind of talks about the stresses of, trying to get your kid to do things. And the movie, I don't know the name of the actor, but he's the actor that was in Stranger Things. He did really well in it, and he had a good sense of humor in it. And it was just, it wasn't quite on par with Ford versus Ferrari, but it was getting close. Like, I would say Days of Thunder, Ford versus Ferrari. And I know I'm probably missing one that should go above Gran Turismo, but right there, like somewhere right there, like it's got to be somewhere in that neighborhood of car racing movies. But I can't think of another car racing movie off the top of my head, aside from Talladega Nights. That's pretty high up there too. But no, it was really good. Good action, good realism, just good for like the idea that, a kid could play video games and get out there and race cars because they think they know what a car can do from a simulator. I'm not sold on that.
Right.
I'm not sold on that, but I'll allow it. So what were you going to talk about before I jumped in front of you?
No, I
for
like
that
that.
bus.
So I just saw the Gran Turismo, like the video game trailer and all that stuff, and they had like not gameplay footage when it was obviously real life stuff. But then it feels like all of it they're showing is like replay footage. Like you're not
Yeah.
actually the drive. I hate when they do that for not.
Yeah.
It's like show me the actual game I'm gonna play. Don't show me like the replay footage that
You know, I don't
you can
know
cut around the
because
angles.
some of the new, what is it, the
You
Unreal
wouldn't watch it from
6?
the front of the car driving around
Maybe I
what
would.
they were doing. Would you?
I like the challenge. Ooh, Rush was pretty solid. San Francisco Rush. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
I remember
RC
playing that.
Pro-Am was a great game.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I
Man, my
learned all my
fingers would
skills
hurt
from
so
RC
bad
Pro-Am.
after my fingers would hurt so bad after that.
RC Pro-Am?
Yeah, because you're
Oh
like
man, that's my favorite.
trying to push the button side to side and you're like, turn.
Get little rockets to shoot.
Chris Hemsworth's Rush, not the 90s Rush. I was talking about the Rush PlayStation game from the 90s game. Chris Hemsworth Rush. I think that was good, but that was too dramatic. I don't know. But it was good. XJ Sports says, I still have that game and it works. I love the old Triple Play 98. That was one of my staples. Baseball. And they had all the funny commercials in between, like the pork belly soda, or they had all the lobster cola. Like
Yeah.
they had all that kind of stuff. So are you ready to blow up the chat and see what people have to say about crawling with clubs?
Yeah, quickly though, I will announce that the saplings are available.
Oh yeah. Saplings.
So that's something that's new.
Oh, look at that color.
Yeah, I did orange and blue.
Ooh. Opposite sides of the color wheel, Tony. Look at you.
Yeah, man. So we've got the Trial and the Injora. Basically, Injora are orange.
Nice.
Orangora.
Nice.
And then the Trial they were teal before, but now they're just blue.
Yeah.
Same color family. But yeah. So the particular print material that I was using, they've gone to like more of a clear kind now, which actually prints way better too. It's nice and soft still, but way cleaner prints. So even the pine trees have a little bit different look to them because they're now kind of a shiny clear.
Very 90s.
Yeah. So
very locomotion of you.
Yeah. I just ordered new because the pine trees have been selling so much that I just reorder the same green.
Yeah.
But now it comes and they're all different. So I had to do tests with them and it's the same. So they handle as good and they print better, which is amazing. So that's been good. A lot less stringiness to it, the material.
Yeah.
I use my lighter and all that to try and get rid of a lot of that for people. So it looks better when they get it. Just sheerly because you put them inside of a tire and it doesn't really matter if they're stringing. So like I could let it go, but I try my best to make them look somewhat clean when people get them, so
I think they look great.
My goal is to try to make them look good out of the package. But yeah, anyway, I've been running these in my Patagonias on the identity theft build, and it's been killing it. I won with it class 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
And then just missed third place.
So where it just jumped. B. Kochner says saplings are smaller in diameter? ?
Yeah. Yeah. So they're quite a bit. Well, I'll go with the same inside.
Mr. Jeep Cherokee says I need like 7 of them.
They're quite a bit smaller. So yeah, these work with. I built them for the Swampers, which are like the biggest size we allow in our class 2. But I leave a huge air gap for them because they're such a stiff rubber.
Sure.
That I don't want the foam to touch it at all at the beginning because I want it to flex out way more than. So again, they're built to my spec. In the Patagonias, they're pretty tight, but Patagonias are a much softer rubber anyway. So, and then the more you run them, the better they just get. So mine have been running for 3 months. If I go back and date the video back to when I built it, where I said Weston doesn't have these. This is a little cheater in my rig, and they've been awesome. So
I gotta get so now that I got my parts of the 3D printer, I gotta put it together because I gotta rebuild mine because winter's coming. The snow, the cold is coming. So I know it's gonna be figuring out where we can run Hobby Town out here changed up their course. So we haven't been there since they did that. And so I'm gotta get something built so we can go and play out there. The weather out here changes, and so we're going to have good crawling weather. I don't think we're going to be as wet or as cold this year until maybe January. So I think we're going to have a ton of good crawling weather, but we'll see. When are you ordering a bamboo, Tony?
So I was sold on it
until
well, they got me like dead set sold on them because the speed.
Yeah.
But I thought that I could do the 4 color, because I have the green, orange, blue, and teal. But TPU is the only one that they say you can't do the color change setup with it because whatever it doesn't do well with the TPU. So
right.
And these are what I'm printing more than anything right now. But still, having the speed of it would be amazing.
Yeah.
And I think being enclosed, like in the basement here, it does get we run a humidifier. I run one nonstop, just dehumidifier, not humidifier.
Yeah.
Dehumidifier nonstop down here. Big one that we got. But I still just feel like, some of the strings and stuff that I do get, it varies. Like these ones, I haven't done anything to them, and they're actually pretty clean.
Mm.
A little bit at the end where it was ending at the outside of it here, but very minimal overall. Same with this new green one. Like normally they're pretty stringy, and you can see a few in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lighter will take care of that pretty quickly, but I feel like having it enclosed and some of that would help with some of that. But I have they sell those like $50 warmers or whatever you can warm and dry so I throw them in that regularly. So I've got the Prusa and it's running great. I'm going to keep running them. They're just on nonstop at this point. I just run them, just
nice.
Change the colors every 2 days and print up, batches of one size and color. So I have like the Injora saplings on one, and then the Injora other ones on a different one, and I'll do Injora all day on them, the bigger and smaller size. Then I'll switch it all over to the Treel and run it, so I can kind of keep a system going. But yeah,
very nice.
Yep, but these just came available, and I gave myself a little flexibility on they're up for pre-order, but they are shipping when the orders come in. So
nice.
I have enough at this point now.
Nice.
I wanted to be safe if it got overboard. The first one, what was it? The Sen thing got so out of control.
Oh, right.
With the orders for those on-axle serving mounts that.
Are people still getting those? Or are they dried up? Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yep. So
that's cool.
But yeah.
I'm sitting on a little pot right now that I'm like, that's why I was looking at buying some tires. And then I was
taking
like,
a dump, sitting on the pot.
Be like, hey guys, all you in audio land not watching. Start talking like this so they think I'm in the bathroom.
Sega Road Rash for the win. We had that Sega CD, and we had the 32-bit Sega as well. Whoa. Road Rash. Man, the music on that game was the best. It was like, oh gosh, Black Hole Sun and all kinds of good stuff. Oh yeah, it was really good stuff.
Do you guys remember the Neo Geos? The Neo Geo gaming system?
64-bit, yeah.
Yeah, we had one of those. Yep. It was sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. No, so I need to get my 3D printer going. I got the parts and I put it off to the side and I was like, I ain't got time for you right now. Hopefully I do soon, but I got a new driver and I hate it. This is the phalanx. Remember?
There's a lot that is wrong
Phalanx.
about that, apparently.
It's the phalanx.
Yeah.
I got it just for the name, Tony. And
Yeah. Now, I still swear by these little screwdriver ones.
yeah, who makes those?
China.
China.
I don't
Nice.
know. They're on Amazon, like $15, and they don't have a lot of power, which is what I like.
Yeah, see, yeah.
And
That
I
was
they're awesome for the minis, especially. So
well, that's why I got this one, is because it has the adjustable clutch. None of the other ones had an adjustable clutch. And I don't know what it is, but this button is like hard plastic. There's no like texture to it or like little cushion on it. And so it feels like garbage. Like I hate the way it feels. And it's not what's it called? It's not
yeah, the
proportional.
DeWalt where you twist your wrist is what you want.
No.
Yeah.
That hurts my carpal tunnel just thinking about it.
Is that what you call your bank account?
Yeah, my carpal tunnel. Yes.
I have the Ryobi ones too. I have several. Oh, there's 1.5 I was looking for.
Hey.
I don't like these ones because the reverse and the speed are kind of similar switches.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just hard to find when you're wanting to quickly reverse, but it does the handle way, I guess. You can do this, then you reverse. I rather have the push through reverse kind of thing, or the DeWalt where you just turn. But yeah, it's they have another one that's more of a pistol one, and I have those too. And they have removable batteries that you can recharge, which is pretty cool. But
I was thinking
like 2 of these and 2 of the other one. But my favorites are still just this simple. The main reason is it locks the bit in.
Yeah.
Where those don't. And if you get a screw that it gets the head stuck in, it'll just pull it right out. And this one won't. So
yeah,
I like it. But it's also, again, underpowered. You just about strip nothing, and you can tighten by hand.
Yeah.
Some of them have like they just spin freely when they're not engaged.
Yep.
Like Black & Decker ones or whatever. But anyway, these are pretty sweet.
Nice.
For minis. So
I
do play around. I was just actually putting the motor on this one.
Nice.
While we've been chatting here. So
I thought Milwaukee had a really cool one that was a battery. You could change the batteries on. That was a little driver, kind of like what you were talking about. Had a little power rod, fuel rod, or whatever they call them. I was thinking about getting one of those.
Yeah.
I never use auto drivers on minis. I like the assembly plus the delicate hardware. Now 1/10, I use it a lot. Yeah.
It's more the speed. Like I can tear down a truck so fast with it.
Yeah. My hands hurt, truthfully. Like at the end of the day, if I'm having to do it by hand, my hands get sore and I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather
For
have
the minis, I'll usually put it back together unless it's like if I'm using the little nuts on the other side, I'll just keep the driver spinning and try and line it up and get it to go on. Because those little 0.4 millimeter or the 4 millimeter nuts suck.
Yeah.
Or whatever those are. But I do get what he's saying. But for teardown, it's so quick. But like diff covers and all that, I always assemble with hand tightening. Even if I use that wrench and do it. But I do honestly, I mean, I use my tool a lot. Which there are more of them on order because we've sold out of them again. But they have the spinning back on them. Still not like my go-to tool of choice. I'll tell everybody is the Vanquish tools.
Yeah,
are second to none in just the feel of them in your hand. the weighting of them, but then the bearing that they use on the back that spins.
I like the
So
color,
nice.
to be honest.
The color. That they're color, like the different colors. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
and
each.
like just the color of the whole piece looks nice. Like it
Yeah.
just looks nice. I don't have one. I've seen them. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But
I use though for the like wheel hexes and all that. I use the
Mhm.
ProTech ones that have the holes in because you can put another bit through it and make it a
cheater
T
bar in
handle.
it.
Yep.
Yep.
Cheater bar all
Yep.
the time. I know a lot of people love the MIPs, and I have some of those. They're quality.
Yeah.
But whenever I have one too that seems stripped, whenever I use that Vanquish tool, it always gets them out. It's crazy. So
I found a set of bits on Amazon and I got them yesterday and I was like, I think these might be legit. And they were like really cheap and they're quarter drive for the
oh
drivers.
yeah, yeah.
And I've gotten some before that you could get out and you're like, these are garbage. Why do I even bother with them? But these ones felt like legit. And I was like, ooh, I think I like them. And they're the kind of bits, they're the I don't remember what it's called, like the fiberglass shank where you could put them in a driver and they torque. They have a little bit of torque give when it sends it home. Super nice. So
we're
I'm
talking
excited
everybody's language, man. Everybody's talking about what tool they use. This is fantastic. Milwaukee guy, Eddie's
Yep.
RC, right? Go Yellow. So DeWalt for RC Garage guy.
I went for the Bosch.
Harley went for it as well. DeWalt's. He said he tried the Ryobi. So I had because my dad got me Ryobi back in college. And then you get so many batteries, you kind of stay in.
Yep.
It. I've been slowly getting what's the Rigid.
Yeah.
The Home Depot brand stuff, like some of their saws, like their things like that. But most of the battery powered stuff, I've been doing Ryobi, and now that it's going brushless, I'm like, maybe I'll start switching over, but we'll see.
I need to switch over. So I used
I'm not a contractor, so
yeah, that's the thing people got to realize.
Yeah, I mean, I have the air guns, I have the nail guns that are the battery powered nail guns and staple guns, all right, everything on that Ryobi branding. Chainsaw that runs off the same batteries, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then the long extended pole saw, so much stuff that is hard to switch.
That's the hard thing. So I have the brushless version of the Porter cable one.
Yeah,
so it's
Porter cable sounds really good.
It's like the nicer, because it's brushless, it's the nicer stuff, but I'm getting to the point where they're starting to because I have a shop, I have triplicate or duplicate of some of the drivers and some of the drill motors and stuff like that. So it's I need some of them are starting to wear, and that's tough because I have all the batteries, right? And I have the fast chargers, and I really want to switch over to Milwaukee, but it's like my problem wanting to switch over to. There was a question up here. I'm sorry I missed it about.
I'll say real quick with this one, the best part about it is it's just forward reverse buttons.
Yeah.
There's no you don't. It's so obvious what you're doing, and it does have that light.
Right. So the question, what I was getting at is what I was going to say is it's the same situation as me wanting to switch over to DX5 rugged, but I don't want to because I have so many of the support for the other stuff. Dad's RC Garage said, any tips on the DX5 rugged? When I turn on my trucks, the servo always chatters for 20 seconds, then stops. Everything works during that time. Do I need to do a recalibration process?
That sounds like the servos.
That's what I thought too. Sounds like the board on the servo is starting to fail.
Yep. And so
how about
racing ones that the whole time, if you put any power to it, or put weight, if you're holding it, they actually go like this. You put on the ground, there's not enough power to move them.
Right.
But I have them on several of my freestyle trucks that I got from those guys that whatever servos they buy over time, do that. The board starts to fail quick. So that's the difference. One of the things, they may have the same specs for power, a lot of things, but when it comes down to electronics, that's where you really see some of the price differences in them because
Yep.
gears are replaceable. Electronics,
Yeah,
not so much. You're
right.
rebuying a servo at that point.
Yep. Endos RC, we should talk about this. I don't know if you watched it at all, but Ongaro won the 4-wheel drive buggy world championship. I didn't see the finals or the last
Well,
mains.
spoiler alert. I was going to watch that tonight.
Oh, sorry, Tony.
No,
Not
just
sorry.
kidding.
I wasn't sorry at all, actually.
Okay.
No, but I had it on at the shop yesterday, watching all the quals. He was, bro, watching these guys rip around the track is something else. These guys are so smooth and so fast. And then the commentary was talking about their paydays.
Yeah, they
I
can
need
make
to-
some money on a win.
I need to be like, start like cracking the whip on my son and be like, again, do it again. Like keep on practicing. Cause they were talking. So I was talking to a guy that was a contracted racer, and the commentary was saying if you double dip, you're probably going to be in like the 60 to 80K. And the real racer guy was like, you're probably 30 to 40K if you're a top dog kind of thing. But then you got to realize some of these guys actually do this for their job. They get paid a year's salary to go out and race around the world RC cars.
Yeah. And they do a
All
lot
right.
of testing and stuff like that.
Oh, for
companies
sure.
too, yeah.
For sure. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's a pretty rad
Yeah.
gig. I mean, I know it's stressful. Like people, people don't realize how when you're under that kind of pressure to perform, it gets pretty stressful,
Yeah,
and
it's not for
it
fun
was,
anymore.
well, it was interesting watching the quals because the people would come off the stand and they'd talk to the interview guy, and they were literally like doing one of these things because they were so amped up from getting off of their race, and they were like, sorry, I'm having a hard time talking because I'm still like in that. And I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. But I mean, they're so good. So
Yep.
good.
What's up, Jack? Yeah. Harley's saying he's team red except for that one tool. So he's only saying yellow for the one small tool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite transmitter for momentary winching? Let's see what the chat has to say about that. I'm curious.
So
I don't have like a lot of options. We use our ruggeds for everything, and
yeah,
I just like them. I have the DX4 Pro, which worked the same, and I know Earl saying he likes the DX5C Pro or whatever.
Yeah.
Because of the wheel. I hated the wheel personally.
Yeah.
Like constantly swiping it, and then it would like you'd go to do one little click and it'd go deep deep, and then you'd like go down and it'd go deep deep. Like it would just do one, and it's like God.
No
But at
win
least
then.
too with the if you get used to the scroll on the back of the rugged and you just hold it and it just keeps, especially when you're trying to get the letters through letters and all that, you just swipe up and hold and it just keeps ticking through them.
Yeah.
That stuff's like, the more I've used it, the more I've become a fan of it. But I have been using that R8X, the Radio Link.
Oh, right.
And the touchscreen on that's super nice.
I picked up a Noble.
It's
I did not
super
picked
nice.
up like as in me having it for me, but a guy at the track handed me his car to take around the oval track, which that was pretty rad. I got to drive a
Do an
sprint
oval?
car.
Yeah.
Dude, I got to drive a sprint car around the oval
get
track. I know. I was like, oh, great. Thanks, jerk. But he handed me the Noble, the Fly Sky Noble, and that's a sweet controller. I was like, dude, this feels so good in your hands.
Yeah.
I use a GT5, and the GT5 has a really good thumb button. It's not momentary, but it's positive lock. So, and it's easy it's got like a nub on it, so you could actually keep it on your thumb. So you can rock it forward or rock it center to stop. So you could like go forward is in, then you pull it back to stop, forward is in, pull it back to stop. And then if you want to go out, you can push back on it and it goes out, kind of a thing. It's a pretty nice little button. But yeah.
Yeah. Raiders is one of those things you're going to get people that are very opinionated about it. I'm not. I like most of my stuff was Spectrum, so I stayed in that. I wanted the thumb controller for driving. That's the main thing. Like, if more companies would realize how many people do YouTube and Instagram and all that crap,
Yeah.
and catered more to that, like had their, and what really, and I've said this, the Spectrum knows how I feel about this. Like, there's no reason that they can't do more than 20 vehicles on that. They considered a low tier radio, which I don't get why.
Right.
Like, why is competitive crawling or whatever you'd use the rugged for considered not like pro level for crawlers?
Right.
Where you, and crawler people typically have a bajillion RCs.
They have more RCs than just like
and a
on-road
racer
cars.
and
Yeah.
a racer that's got
Yeah.
their 3 or 4, but you can hold 100 if you want. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
just blows. Like, the people like that think about these things
Yeah.
at headquarters, to me, it's like, come on, guys. Like,
I don't understand why they haven't made a full-on waterproof, like, don't worry about driving it in the rain radio yet.
yeah.
Like, I really don't. Like, especially for the crawler market, like, hello, we like to go out and
Put a quarter
play in
inch thread on the front too. Like, the
Yeah.
front plate of the radio where the battery, whatever, put a little quarter inch thread where the little,
I'd rather have one at the
in one of
bottom.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, or in the bottom, or both.
Yeah.
And they can tap in a little like ball head, hang a camera mount from it.
Yeah.
It only shows your cars more. Like,
Yep. Did you see the one that RC
No.
Driver just did a video on? The radio? I don't remember what the name of it was. I've never heard of the name before. It was nice.
Yeah, Alex.
Take it easy, man.
See, Jack's top all the way. Yeah, I would if I had the money.
Mm.
But again, it's like getting the car. It's same as the tool.
Yep.
Once you have radios and once you have receivers in a bajillion, it's like when you have a bajillion batteries for your tool.
Yep.
It's very hard to switch because of the cost of switching everything over.
Yeah.
And
for me, it's more of the I've tried the nicer, like the Sanwas and the Fatabas and the Noble, and they feel great. And the input is great. I saw what Cycle Garage. Is that what you're laughing at?
Yeah, I just saw Dirk's comment.
Yeah. But the inputs feel great. But the problem is that my lifestyle with RC is not like put it into a nice receiver bag and truck it. You know, it's like throw it in a bag, or I'm on a mountain and I have to put it down on the mountainside while I do this and that. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I gotta that's why the rugged appealed to me so much, and that it was quasi waterproof. But yeah, it's just, I'm in the universe so much on the other side.
It's mainly the thumb wheel for me on that one.
Yeah.
And if they could make the pro one, if they made a pro series that had a thumb adapter, then I wouldn't complain so much about them not catering to.
They need to do like a little nubbin momentary switch that's 3-position.
Yeah.
That on your thumb, because you could use that for 4-steer, or you could use it for windshield.
They do have that already. They have 2 or 3. They have a button you can hold, and they have 2 forward that are momentary switches on your left hand on the rugged.
I'm talking about like a little, like a rubberized toggle. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Oh yeah.
Like that would be, because they make little short toggle throws. That would be sick. Like,
yeah, I've loved it for my monster trucks and stuff. Their little toggle switch for winches, or for the momentary winch, and then also for the rear steer is what I use. I just set it to like 30%.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do full steering.
Yeah.
And it's like perfect for monster trucks, almost realistic.
Yeah.
But yeah. The Radio Link has the knobs and some really cool stuff. It's a pretty rad radio, and their receivers are dirt cheap.
That's what I liked about the Radio Link. That's what's been,
and they've got tiny ones that you can stick into the minis.
I know. That's what's been really intriguing me about doing that for my setups now, is because I'm at a point now where I could probably switch my radio system over to my son's cars and then rebuild off of the Radio Link, because it's so inexpensive to get the radios or the receivers. But then again, I just go back to that Radio Link has a super nice screen and all that kind of stuff. I just worry that I'm not going to be good to it. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like, and
It is
and
scary with the big screen too, like on the
yeah,
radio link and
and I
stuff.
hand mine off to people. You know what I mean? Like, I have no like, if I had a radio sponsor, I would be like, yeah, give me the nicest radio. But I hand mine off to people, and I literally want to hand my stuff off to people and be like, I don't care if you break it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but when it's like a $300 controller, then it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like you can replace like if I hand my RC car, I could replace the part that they break. But the radio, there's not much that you can do to like replace that. So
Yeah.
that's the hard part of that one.
The other thing that I noticed is like, so I immediately put that radio link into one of my minis and did force steer with it. It works awesome. I've been shocked with how popular the SCX24 has been, in my opinion, for Horizon. You know, that Spectrum getting into batteries hasn't really taken on aftermarket batteries for it.
Yeah.
But also that they haven't made small receivers, like that they ditch the casing on and then they just shrink wrap them
Yeah.
so that you can slip them into these
Yeah.
tiny
Fly
builds that
Sky
we're
does
doing.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so many companies do.
Yeah.
And maybe they do for their aircraft that would work with it, but I was kind of like, man, like everybody's wanting to go brushless, and then you change, like your receiver doesn't work anymore with the radios like they used to, where you could keep using it and plug in, and it was a little big and bulky to do it that way. But
Sure.
I've been shocked that they haven't come out with a little receiver. Like I've just been breaking mine apart and taking the innards out and
Yeah.
sticking them in if I want to run my Reggae on them.
I've got a
But
question for Harley about radios.
yeah,
Like with the new radio system that Vanquish is doing, can
theirs is
you
really good in the ready to run. Holy
it
cow.
looks like it.
Really good.
I was wondering, can you buy receivers for it? Because it's got the radios have, isn't it like a 5 or 10 car memory on it? And so I didn't know where you get the receivers out of it.
It's probably the nicest ready to run receiver that I've gotten with any car.
They look nice. Yeah. I don't have one in person, or like, I don't have one to say it, but they look nice.
Turbo Racing, so you can get their receivers.
Is that the one with the joystick?
Turbo Racing is the one that makes the little ones.
No, I'm talking about the
that they talked about.
Yeah, the fighter plane joystick.
Yeah. No, but Turbo Racing makes those little ones that they use that look like the Furatech ones with the removable top.
Okay.
So Turbo Racing makes those, and you can get a bunch of mini ones for that. That was hot RC. Yeah, so $10 RXs you can get. So you can get them on eBay and stuff. Yeah. I ordered 2 extra because all those, like the mini Bs and stuff, come with those radios, and we take them out and run them to our Spectrums.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got all these great, like little one-handed driving radios that I want to put into other minis, and I don't actually know. They never came in the mail, I don't think. So.
Oh no.
Turbo P32 transmitters. I think, yeah, that's the ones. Those are the little ones.
That's cool.
All right, let's talk about the controversial topic you want to talk about.
Okay.
See what they think.
So, unfortunately, I have limited time, but okay, so let me preface this. So, for anyone local that's listening to this, let me preface that I talk about this because of my experience previously with the clubs, not currently. And I talk about this from coming from a point where I hope that it builds up again, not a negative outlook on the clubs or the people running the clubs. That's 100% not the way I look at this. It's just that I'm kind of bummed that it's been kind of going down this route. And huge kudos to the guy that used to run our club out here. His name's Justin. He moved away, had a baby, all that kind of stuff. But when I was around, it was kind of to his detriment because he wasn't able to play, but he had this thing running like a clock, right? Like everything was running really smooth. And so it's
perfect.
always,
Jeff Brown just stepped in too, so he can kind of
so
speak into it locally here
it,
too.
you know, and then when it changed hands, of course, you know, there's going to be some hiccups, right? No big deal. But I feel like crawling clubs and crews around us are dead. Like I feel like they're dying, and it's killing me because that's how I kind of got into it, and you know, building that community. And I think I don't know why. Like after being, it's bizarre because after being around our racing community here, people get scared about racing community, and they get, you know, worried that, you know, they're too intense or the people are too like snobbery or something like that. And it was so polar opposite. Like I actually felt a little bit more that way about the crawling than I did about the racing program out here. Um, but I'm really bummed because like our U4, and I say this just seeing from a distance on Facebook. I don't really participate on Facebook very much, but I say this seeing from a distance on Facebook that the U4 program's kind of dying off. I haven't competed in that in a long time because we changed focus, and my idea was we'd come back to it once we got a good grasp on racing, because I didn't think we were having fun with it. But now that we know how to race, I feel like we would go back and really have a good run at racing U4 now, because we can my son understands lines, understands tempo, all that kind of stuff. But I feel like the crawling club out here, there's a few, and I'm specifically talking about our War CRC one, because that's the one that's like I'm passionate about and I love it. But I feel like it's kind of dying off.
Now, is it just the events, or do they do other get-togethers where they go out crawling in the mountains? Or
yeah, okay. So let me set it up. So the calendar, say a 4-week calendar. It used to be week 1 was, let's say week 1 was U4. Week 2 was either Sorka comp or scale trail run. Week 3 would be unlimited crawler, or like I forgot what they call them. The Harley is into them, the big wagon wheel crawlers. It would, you know, week 3 would be that, and then you'd get a week off, and then it would rotate. So, but it was always going, right? Something was always happening. And the scale trail event was basically, they would hand you a clipboard, and you and a buddy would go out and keep track of your score. They weren't doing like super hardcore scoring or anything like that. It was more of like a buddy system, try to beat your buddy, but you could submit your score. And at the beginning of that, they would have a concourse where all the cars would be lined up, and then they would vote on, you know, everyone would vote on who took first through third in concourse. And it was like, that was my thing. I mean, I have a row of those awards up here because I loved going for concourse. And then the scale trail would just be like a fun trail that you would go. And then the month
all
after,
at the same place?
no, it would travel. It would go
Travel.
regionally. It would go
Okay.
regionally all the way around. And so then the following month would be like the Sorka event. So you wouldn't do that. That would be for the more serious people, and they would actually handle it like a Sorka event. And I think that's still doing pretty well. But all the other, like the U4 doesn't seem to be doing so hot. Our big events, we had a big event called Warrior Weekend. Absolutely the most fun event I've ever been to locally. It was so much fun. And the last 2 years, it kind of flopped. This year, they canceled it completely. The TTC, the problem with, let me preface this too. The problem with some of these is that you get a lot of take and not enough give on them, meaning people want to go and participate, but not a lot of people are really, I don't know if they want to, or if they're just not capable of helping. Like me, I have a hard time with time, right? Like, so for me to go out and help set up a track the day before, that's a 40-minute drive from my house, and then come, you know, it gets tough for me. And so I have a hard time with that. But I feel like, you know, the TTC got canceled this year, and I was super bummed about that. Not only because I really wanted to compete in it again this year, but also because, you know, those are fun community events. that I miss. And we have one event called RC Palooza, and I missed that this year because I was on vacation. But last year I got to go to one day, but I had a funeral to go to. So it was like, it's just one thing after the other. But that one looks like that took over for the biggest one. We have, I would say, 3 decent sized functioning entities out here.
Now, do you think that it's just you feeling that it's getting smaller because you're not being able to go to it? Because I felt that way before, and then I get there and it's like, oh, people are still doing this.
No, because they're canceling events left and right.
Okay.
So like for instance, the U4 stuff probably raced maybe a quarter of they've probably lost a quarter of their races because not enough people. Or when people showed up, it'd be like 5 people with 3 classes each. You know what I mean? So it would fill out the race, but it wasn't like in past where, I've gone to them and there was 20 drivers with 3 classes each, if not
U4
more.
is tricky because the amount of vehicles you can get for them is slimmed down too. Like there's the Rift. There's not. What else can you buy? There's not bombers.
Well, so we did 1.9. So we did the 1.9 class, which is just
do it with crawlers.
Yeah, and then we did the 2.2 IFS, which would be a Baja Ray, Yeti. I forgot what the other one is out there. There's another one out there. We did IRS, which is basically full independent. So you could run a DB Pro, I think it is. You could run any 4-wheel drive short course. Basically, you just had to change the tires, put a cage and interior on it. And then we had 2.2 solid, which is Rift, Bomber, Wendigo. I mean, there's a lot out there that you can run 2.2 solid. You could run a SMT10. Theoretically, you could run an LMT out there. You just have to lock the center diff and get things scale on it. And then there's the unlimited class, which is like a laser nut, the Nomad, the people running the DB Pro with bigger tires on it. So there's cars out there. I mean, you could still run. You could run the Hammer Ray in that class. Like there's a lot of people, a lot of things to do out there. I just think, well, that's the thing. So Dirtburger said it could be the high inflation keeping people from coming. The thing is, they don't charge. They just charge track fee, which is $10, and then the rest of the comp stuff and the scale trail is free. So I don't know why people aren't like making it out there.
So you're not paying per truck; you're just paying to get on.
Mm-hmm.
And
and and I think there was a little bit, to be honest, one of the reasons why I left the U4 scene is because it was kind of Wild Westy. Like it wasn't. There was enough rules, but not enough rules to, you started seeing like Frankenstein cars going out there, me included. And the Frankenstein cars, I think some performed well, some didn't. And it was just kind of like, let's get back to basics. But
this is pretty right too.
Hobby time is the variable in the equation. Not everyone in the same place in life changes. Yeah, changes leader 100%.
Leadership's a huge thing.
Well, and
people is such a big thing. Like somebody was saying something about how negative whatever things are or whatever. They're talking about groups on Facebook and how they're getting tired of RC and whatever. There's the negativity. And I'm like, dude, that's one of those things where it's like either the group, whoever's in charge of the group bans the people from being in there, because the problem is people, right? You get negative people, it drags everything down. And if you don't find a way to either squash it and just say, hey, that's not acceptable here. And I think there's that element, like it's easier to pick and choose in real life who you want to hang around, but online in groups like that, it's a little bit trickier. So but I don't know. So you change the leadership, you change different things, like the people element changes too. Like, oh, I just kept coming because I really liked hanging out with so and so. They're not going anymore. I don't feel like I want to show, it's a 40-minute drive, it's this or that. It's like,
well, and I think the other thing is sometimes it gets oversaturated, right? So sometimes there's 3 clubs to choose from all over the place. You want to get to one, you end up not going to any, or you get burnt out. So like, for instance, this weekend is one of those weekends where we have a season ender championship race, right? A trophy race, and it's the end of the summer season race. If we do well in that, we're going to be riding high on RC, and then there's a monster truck race on Sunday after a 12-hour race on Saturday. Do we drive all, like, do we do that, or do we just stay burnt out and not go? But
Yeah.
I think,
I mean, you've only got so much hobby time too.
yeah.
And
But
so you're using it for racing, but then you want or wish that there'd still be the one thing to drop into, but so you can't go to everything either.
right.
But if they just start seeing numbers dwindle for everything and they just start pulling back, like, nobody's going to show up.
Scott's
Like, I
saying,
know our mini stuff slowed down for summer.
yeah.
And I kept, saying, well, it's summer in Michigan. Like, summer in Michigan's like the best thing ever. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much to do here. People are at Silver Lake. They're running the sand dunes. They're doing fishing is so huge here, either out on the lake or what, like
Yep.
there's so much to do in the summer that you don't need RC. Like,
Right.
you're spending your money doing like camping. There's so much to do and see.
Yeah.
But when it hits winter here, man, you got to
Crickets.
believe that people are going to be coming back indoors and doing looking for
Yeah.
things to do that still kind of fit in that niche of that kind of lifestyle they like with the off-roading and all that. But
Yep. So Scott said something about it. I know. So I should have prefaced that too. That Warrior Weekend was canceled because of not a clerical thing, but like the Forest Service closed down that area. The problem is that for 4 years they've been rolling the dice on that area that it was at. So it was time to me. That's just means it's time to figure out a new place to go, right? Which is hard. I totally get that. You know what I mean? But it's like we knew that Forest Service was dicey because in years before they were having problems with the Forest Service saying that you needed permits and all this kind of stuff to go out there with RC, which is just part of the event, right? Like part of putting on events. I wonder. And I love that event. Like literally that was like my most, like I said, that was the most fun event I've ever been to when it comes to crawling with RC. Now I'm wondering, the other big thing is out here in our region, just like kind of like what you're saying, but fall, winter is RC season out here when it comes to off-road crawling kind of stuff. Racing is fun during the summer, but off-road crawling, that kind of thing is definitely a fall sport here. But I wonder too if it would be beneficial just to have a couple main events, right? Like it'd be really nice because like we don't have an Axial Fest, we don't have a Gauntlet, we don't have a Pro Land by the Fire, we don't have a Horizon Fest, anything like that up here in the Northwest. And I'm wondering if it would be fun just to now. I'm not committing to any of this, but I've been thinking about this, and you've heard me talk about this in years past, of like putting on an event series where it's like maybe 4 events over the year, 3 events over the year, where they're not circus events, but something kind of like that, crawler based or off-road based, and do something like that where, one of the things that was tough with our War CRC thing is that they didn't really want to take, and I understood why, because of tax reasons, they didn't really want to take on sponsorships. And it's tough because it's like people, it's hard to make a commitment to go somewhere if you're trying to quote unquote compete doing something without having anything to get out of it. You know what I mean? Like aside from just the fun part, if you really want to compete, what's the my wife used to joke with me. She's like, so all that work and you won and you got a piece of paper. It's like, well, yeah, I'm bragging rights, I guess. But, I just wonder about that. And I wonder if the market, because I know the market has kind of taken a slow turn, I would say, south when it comes to RC stuff. I think it's going to start picking up again in the next couple weeks, but because it always does right before Q4, but I don't know. What do you think?
I think things have slowed for sure since people are back to work and there's a lot more things you can go and do. The world's opened up again.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of changed people's use of their spare time and their spare money. So,
well, and plus
yeah,
it's also kind of below the line stuff, right? RC stuff. If you have a family or if you have other commitments, the cost to go out and play RC, we talked about it when it comes to racing. It's $100 day, $150 day if both McKinney and I are racing.
So ours, I mean, I don't typically do a lot of the big event type stuff anyway. That's never been my. Well, I do the big events, but I don't typically do a whole lot of local ones. We did the RC monster truck racing. You'd drop $60 a month on it, something like that, maybe 80.
Yeah,
which is expensive. It's not small. You don't have to. It's $20 a truck. So however many trucks you want to enter.
right.
I usually enter 3 or 4.
Right.
But here we do the minis, and I usually enter 1 or 2, but then my kids each enter. So we end up spending $15-$20 because they only charge $5 for the mini trucks to do the comp night here.
Yeah.
And I usually only run one just at a time. Like we're ending as it is 8:39. It's getting close to closing time. So when you're judging other people, you're hanging out. Like for me, it's really about coming and hanging out with people. Like I just like the people that show up.
Yeah.
So that's half of it, right? So if you like the people that are coming, you're going to be more likely to show up just to see them again, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're one day a week that you get to hang out and do RC stuff and hang.
And that's kind of the reason that I'm saying I wonder if like certain like not like frequently, but marquee events that aren't necessarily big like Pro Line by the Fire, but just like bigger events that you start to see the people that you regularly see. But I just it's tough because it's like one of the groups out here does trailing where they'll just all, and I think it's awesome. And I've never done it with them. I went to like a little comp they had, but I've never done it with them where they all just kind of get in a line and crawl on a trail, like go hiking, like what I do, but
that's
it's a
what I
bunch
like
of people.
to do.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of fun. I think the hard part is to your point, I agree that, you get 20, 30 people out there, you really only gravitate around 2. You know what I mean? Like 3 or 4 maybe tops.
Yeah.
Like when you're grouping together doing your thing.
Yeah. I'll kind of bounce around on an evening though, where that's what I like about the indoor ones.
Yeah.
Is we'll bounce around between the tables, and I'll usually bounce around between 4, 5, 8 people that I'll chat with. Yeah. So new people, I usually kind of get interested in what their cars are, whatever, too. So it's just fun to meet the new people, but then also see the people that have been coming back week after week.
Yeah.
So I can't wait till it gets bigger again.
How's the 10 scale stuff on the indoor?
I don't know. I don't go. It doesn't interest me.
Such a jerk.
It doesn't, like, I don't have any interest in it.
You're dead to me, Tony.
I like going out and hanging out on the trails. I just met some guys in Muskegon go out trailing, and they do what we're talking about, walking and talking.
I'm gonna hire a guy to go on a deer blind and shoot you in the baby maker with a BB gun.
It's deer season here. You got to get a little kid with a bow and arrow, though. But yeah, I mean, I would rather go out in the woods and just crawl with the 110 scale, honestly.
Well, and so that's what these scale trail events were. They would go out early and set up literally 100 gates, 80 gates or whatever. And they were wide gates. They were just more of like, try to make
follow
it
the path. Yeah.
Yeah. Follow the path. Yeah. And that was so much fun. And it was so low key because it would be, like me and the kids playing and follow the leader and all that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed that. I don't know if that's something I can facilitate.
Yeah. I felt like there was enough lines too with the 10 scale out on the trails that were just fun that you could just find.
Yeah.
I feel like the 24 scale, if you don't map off I think that's why I like competing them. If you don't map off certain things, they can be, they're not as capable, or they are, like you gotta, it helps to kind of mark ways to kind of force people into the interesting stuff that they can do. and it's, I don't know, there's a shorter, I don't know what it is. I think the tabletop height of it I like.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, the keeping up with the Joneses mentality in the RC right now is like the constant releases and the more gets tough. So
Yeah. That's one of the things that I think is difficult. That's why I like the concourse stuff. Addie says he likes to follow the leader. That's the way they do 1/10. So they clock 5 to 6 miles doing that. So what we do, I talked about it on the podcast. I think it was last time or the time before. We play like playing horse, but we play car or we play truck or we play Jeep or whatever. But it's like playing horse with RCs where say my son will go out, find a line, conquer the line, but it's just enough where you might not be able to get it. And then the next car goes. And if you don't get it, then you get a letter and then you move on and you find another and
yeah,
you're
like
just
pig or
exploring.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just exploring. And that's so much fun.
Yeah.
And yeah,
follow the leaders, what we always did in the trails, like Jeremy's saying. We never played pig or whatever, but I like that idea.
Well, it's cool for the kids because the kids, you know, they get tied up in that competition style of it. Yeah, tend to be a little bit more of a builder than a runner. That's how I am. My built vehicles aren't really performance vehicles. They're more just having fun to look at. Consumers can't keep up with the releases and end up hunkering
I've been talking
down.
about that, and I don't think they should try.
No, it says
YouTube and the internet makes people feel like they have to have everything.
Yep.
And you don't have to. Just look at the new releases as if it's something that maybe you've been looking for in that market or whatever. But I definitely encourage people, don't feel like you have to have every new thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, and then you also get that kind of analysis paralysis, right? Where we have, you know, when we only had 5 cars on the shelf, it was easy just to grab a car and go out and play. And now it's like, ooh, should I take that one? Is this one?
Yeah, I talked about that way too much last week, but
did you?
It's true. Like, yeah. So I don't want to get into it too much this week.
Don't get me started.
No, I really do. And I think that part of it is like, you see this YouTube thing and like the people you're watching are getting everything.
Yeah.
Partly either they're giving it and, you know, some will tell you if they get it or some won't.
Right.
Others will just buy everything that comes out because they can make money on YouTube talking about it, or at least pay for it.
Right.
Or most of it off, like, and they need content to talk about. And it's just like, you get this feel like you have to have everything. If you're going to be in the hobby, that's what you do, is you're watching what these people,
it's the death scroll of Instagram. It's the, you know what I mean? Where you're
which
just
is what
like,
I've loved about the disc golf stuff I've been watching. It's all about technique and other things, like not necessarily keep buying all these new discs or whatever.
Yeah.
It's really about the game, playing the game.
Yep.
And you can play the game of RC with what you've got. And probably your best bet is, instead of buying the new latest, greatest thing, is work on the one you got and make it do better. Like, you can take that and make it into something. You don't have to buy new.
I think that's what I really liked about the turf racing this summer, is that we just took one and drove it. And we didn't really, you know, it wasn't really like, we didn't upgrade anything really. We fixed things when they broke, you know, but, you know, the only thing I really changed was pinions.
Yeah.
Right? Like, except for I've got some batteries coming now, but other than that, because my batteries are like puffing, but you know, the only thing really was pinions. And I like that idea of it, that it's like, now especially in my son's bracket, because it's all like stock car, they're all the same. I was racing in mod stadium truck, but I was running a 13.5, and the mod stadium truck, I didn't feel like I wanted to go and spend all the money to get my car to the same speed. Because one, I'm not that good of a driver. I'm not, honestly, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know why this is like this right now, but I am generally a very competitive person. And with the RC racing, I have been wanting to participate and not compete. Like I have more fun participating, and I find myself taking video more, all that kind of stuff. But I find myself having more fun watching my son compete than me. You know what I mean? And so it's been weird because I've just kind of been going out there running it and all that kind of thing. If the RC industry went away tomorrow, would you be happy with the cars you have now? Great question.
Depends if there's part support still. So that's the one other problem with this whole constant change of things with the companies, because they're just trying to sell.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, their business, they're trying to make money.
Speaking of KLN, I have his stub axles for his ground pounder. He's still running a ground pounder.
Yeah. So what I like that Axial's done with the AX24 or the SCX24 is, for the most part, they're the same truck over and over and over, right? They're changing bodies. And honestly, like some of them could use a refresh, like the Jeeps and the Deadbolts. Like, give us a new color, give us a little something different on it, but still I mean, they sell, so keep the Jeeps, right? But
yeah,
you know,
well, it got
make
stagnant.
It something new about it. But
we were talking about that, how it's like basically the same box of technology that you've seen for 10 years now. I mean, they've added the selectable transmissions and stuff like that. And the IFS was really probably one of the biggest game changers. I wouldn't say game changers, but innovations out there over the selectable transmission. In my opinion, when it came to crawlers. But yeah, I feel like there's, aside from the vanity changes of the vehicle, there's not a whole lot going on.
But I'm okay with that, because it's not forcing people to buy a new one, but it gives a new option for somebody if they are like, hey, I need to upgrade one, or I would like to get another, but they're all the same, right?
Yeah.
So it's at least it's a little different. But you're also buying into the same platform that's not changed. So there's still part support. There's all this stuff that still works. We had a kid come in at the end of the comp last week, and he was trying to find a spur gear for a Duratrax. You know, it's like,
yeah.
But you think about, there's a lot of cars out there like that where it's out for a year or two.
Yeah.
Done. Like if you're on Axial site, it says the UTB 18 is discontinued
already.
That's what the Axial site said.
Wow.
And there could be computer glitches that they've had issue with, whatever. But it's like, you know, like when you have things that don't have a long run, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help with buyer confidence either.
Yeah.
So as annoying as it is, the Traxxas just does color changes so many of the times, which not now. They're doing it. Everything's converting to brushless, right? So
yeah,
they're getting upgrades to vehicles that have been around forever. But it still means that you're still going to get the parts for them. Like they're still going to have A-arms. They're still going to have whatever. They're just upgrading that model to be brushless now out of the box, not brushed.
Are we in the trust tree right now? Can I tell you something in confidence?
I think so.
I really like that little square body.
Oh, the new the high trail TRX4M.
I really I'm like,
hey, speaking of, check out this body I just got.
Ooh, where's that from?
Yeah.
Axial.
It's the C10 that they sell. It was the clear one. I got a reaction pre-painted because I don't like to paint.
That's the little gray C10 or the
yeah,
teal
man.
C10?
Look how awesome it looks in orange with a little bit of a sparkle, like a pearl. It's so hot. He was gonna put it on the shelf and post it. I'm like, yeah, you don't need to put that one on your Facebook page. That one's not gonna be on the shelf tomorrow.
Does he still have an ecto body? I keep on checking the Associated site. No ecto bodies.
It's that body.
Yeah, that's the one.
So that's why I got it, because this one will be on ccxrc.com as a takeoff used that you can get, because this will be dropping all of this hotness onto that.
Okay, so here's the other thing that I have. So
black though, do I paint this black before I put it on, or do I leave it silver?
No, silver. Come on. Okay. Come on.
Black everything.
Shut it. Poop. poop out your mouth.
Poop. Poop. All right. Nick B says hello, by the way.
What up? Yeah, I saw that. He's scared of racing my kid.
And Diverse said he was doing that. He was buying, when he started his YouTube, he was buying and fixing up, doing and trying to sell and keep it going. And it drains your wallet, man. It can.
Yeah.
You think that YouTube's going to just take off and bring in a ton of money. We talked about this last week. We're not going to get to it again, but
hey, it's going to bring me a ton of money.
I mean, it can. It honestly, it literally can.
Yeah.
If you do it right.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard to do it. And a lot of people spend a lot of money trying to get
Don't
there.
even get KLN started on that. He keeps on telling me I need to post every day, go live every day, and start talking like the king of RC, and my YouTube channel will take off. And I'm like, nah. Not gonna happen. It's not my style. But for all you out there, Kaylin goes, oh man. So for all you out there that are watching right now, go put on a playlist of one of my channels or one of my playlists on my channel, and don't even watch it, but just let it play, because I found out some discouraging news that my shorts don't count towards my watch hours. And I was at like 3,700 watch hours. I was like, yes, getting close to that 4K, baby. And then they're like, yeah, sorry. No, they don't count. Do over.
No, but the subscribers you get from shorts only count towards your play button.
So, great. I don't care about a play button. I want that money.
I'm actually going to go look and see if Axial still has the UTB-18 as discontinued, because I would hate to just leave this live stream and be completely wrong.
I should just hang up on you right now. Just be like, oh, he's spreading misinformation. Let's indict him.
I'm hoping it's just there. See, it still shows up on the.
I was just waiting, Nick B. I was just waiting for Tony to shut his pie hole. I was trying to be courteous. That's why he shouted you out before me.
No, it doesn't show as discontinued now. So there, that's good. Because that would have sucked.
Thanks, Tanker T68. Yeah, so so when I thought I was 3,700 watch hours, turns out I'm at 2,700 watch hours, and I was like, well, that sucks. And people still RC in 2023. Yes, they do. KLN, you should try it. You'd like it. Take the RC pill. It's good for you.
Yeah, it's showing up on both as add to cart, not discontinued. It's in stock.
Nice.
I'm gonna check those SCX 24s that were listed as out of.
Hey, I really like that new SCX 24. I don't know what they're calling it.
I like the body on it a lot.
Yeah, me too. I could see that with
something was wrong, man, because they had these SCX 24 Jeeps as discontinued as well. They're not discontinued either now.
I could see that truck with some massive little guy racing tires on it. Just make it look like a massive, mud truck crawler.
Yeah, or you put just scramblers on it and make it good.
No.
Yeah. That's what you want. It's not. It's the glitch, says at Ease RC.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were several of them. So and I thought that would have been realistic. Like the Jeep could have been discontinued, or the Deadbolt, because it's still a version 1 electronics.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize
Deadbolt
that.
still has the old radios in them.
Wow.
So does the C10 that I have here.
Wow.
This still is gonna have.
Here we go again with the scramblers.
The version 1.
That's a Psycho Garage. I'm gonna make you a sign. Scramblers are the best tires.
It goes really well in scramblers.
Garbage cans.
Pine trees. This is the old color green. This is the new color green.
Yeah.
They both look electric on my screen, so it doesn't work. But yeah.
New iPhone has like 130 millimeter zoom on it now. Optical.
What?
Yep. And a 2.8
what is that, like 12 times zoom?
More than that. It's huge. And it does macro. It's pretty dope. It's and Tony, they didn't change the price. So you could get a 256 gig for the same price that you could do the last one. It's time for me to upgrade. I've got an iPhone Pro Max.
Man, the cameras look
Gargantuan.
huge sticking off the back of it now. They were
I
big
know.
before. They
I
look
know.
ginormous now.
Yep.
Maybe it's the same.
The thing that they showed me that was, or the thing that I saw that was nice, they did an action shot, a zoomed in action shot, and I was like sold. Because that's the problem with the
Euphoria.
zoom the problem with the zoom right now, it artifacts too much on the zoom when you take a picture. It doesn't have a good like autofocus on fast shots. Like for just pictures, not video, just pictures.
Huh.
And so I always I have the 12. Which one do you have? 14?
13 Pro?
Yeah, I have the 12. Mine doesn't do action.
Mine only has issues when it goes into macro mode. It gets really grainy. It sucks. Never choose macro mode for product shots. Even fully lit, it's grainy. It's like, what's the point of using it? Like, I don't want it.
The other thing that it said it had was had some I think they're selling snake oil, but it said it had some kind of anti-glare coating.
48 megapixel main camera.
I don't know if that's interpolated though.
7 can multiple focal lengths, like having 7 lenses.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit bigger than the Pro Max too.
Holy crap. It's 5 times zoom, 120 millimeter.
It's huge.
So it's 3x already.
It's huge. They show a zoom on like a lavender plant and a person in the background. And
the lavender plant is the macro though, so it's up close.
Right, but they show how it zoomed out on the. They have like 7 pictures.
Back up. Yeah.
Yeah. 640 by 640.
Right now.
Fuji. I had a
20 millimeter. That's insane.
Right, for on a phone pocket and in your pocket. Nick B said he's trying to get back into RCs again. It's been a rough couple months. Sorry about it. Sorry, Rick. Sorry, Nick. Sorry, buddy.
Unless the stabilization is good, that's going to be tough for video.
Well, they had the new cinema stabilization on the last version of the. That was the only thing that I thought was different enough to upgrade on the 14, and I held off. You know what I really want though? I really want the Ultra, the watch.
Oh yeah. It stays on all the time too.
That's such a baller watch. Like,
yeah, I was looking at the guy because I honestly just got a new phone because my old one I somehow busted 2 of the pins on the inside of it, and I couldn't get data off it, and it wouldn't work with CarPlay.
Oh,
still charge
USB-C iPhone now.
Oh really? That's huge.
And, sorry, not one more thing. You're gonna love this. You can record straight to a external SD.
It has an SD card slot?
No,
through USB-C.
Through USB-C.
Wow.
That's huge. I was like, yes, like, because that would be for doing, my shots in the shop building stuff. That's what kills my
for long time lapse, whatever.
Dude.
But you don't want to usually shoot time lapse as time lapse because you might want to pull something out of it and get quick talk spot or whatever. You just record it and then speed it all up.
Right.
Yeah, so I just had to get a new one. And so I was in there, I was looking at the guy's watch, and I was like, oh, I really like that. But
yeah. Well, that watch is like it's like a tag.
$800. Yeah.
But
yeah, so it's nice because I've been struggling. Like I'll be importing footage and it'll just disconnect. And I didn't know what that was about. And it turns out that I'd bent 2 pins in it somehow. The CarPlay thing was like having an old CD player in the car that would skip when you hit a bump. because it
yeah.
would disconnect. You'd be listening to music, and then the bump would make the jiggle enough that it would disconnect and reconnect.
Yeah.
Just so freaking annoying, especially if you're on a phone call. But yeah, I airdrop as well.
Some of the
To get
files get
files
kind of
over,
big. Yeah, some
but
of the
it's
files
way
take a
faster
while.
with Final Cut X to just import direct in.
Yep.
Because then you're importing to your computer, then you're dropping into the program, which is duplicating them. So if you don't remember to go back and delete them, yeah.
So
I'd
the
just
other
rather
thing they
import
came
direct.
out with that you will
And airdrop, if you shoot in slow motion, sometimes actually airdrops it and it's in slow motion. It does the ramp up or the regular and then slow.
yeah.
I don't want that. I just want the raw file that I
Yep.
can.
And
Anyway,
240
go
or
ahead.
whatever. The other thing is they updated the iCloud subscription model. And so now they have iCloud Plus. So I already have, because we run ours through our business, I already have the 2 terabyte one and it's full all the time. And so now they made it, I think, up to 6 terabytes on the cloud, which is awesome.
That's nice. Yeah, because they limited it at 2. And I'm already at the full. I'm maxed out.
Yep. I've been that way
Which the guy
for
there was like, I've never had anybody
what? Oh,
have this
dude,
much
we max
full.
out. I've been maxing out forever.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, yeah, I have to go and delete videos all the time. Like, sucks.
Yep.
But yeah.
Sorry, my sister-in-law just called. I'm supposed to get off the phone to get off this to get on a call with her.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll
It's that
wrap it up.
time. I already shot you in the baby maker.
Yeah.
Nice try.
At least once. Hunting season style, too. You're blind.
That was good. That was good.
But yeah. All right. Well, we'll catch up lots of stuff.
Yeah.
We got Gauntlet coming. Gauntlet's going to be huge. Weather's
I miss
looking iffy at a week and a half out.
Dude, I miss our conversation. I felt like a bad dog for throwing you under the bus last week. Thank you for picking
No, it
that
was
up.
fine.
So.
At Ease RC, I get to see Chris from GCM, and I get to see Rob and Panda and all them. They're all coming up for the Gauntlet.
Nice.
So from USCE, and well, Chris is coming from Canada, but I might even get to go fishing with them ahead of time.
What?
So we'll see. Yeah.
Fishing. Who fishes?
Their fishing guide or whatever they're looking at got canceled or whatever. Can't do it. So
got canceled.
I could be a fishing guide for a day. I mean, I've got. And there's more, but I can't pay into them all. So
why?
Got a good start for a small.
Why? It's like RC cars.
Fishing charter.
They all catch different fish, okay?
Yeah. Well, they throw different baits is what they do to catch different fish.
Well, this one doesn't really catch fish, but it looks nice.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't catch fish.
Well, then I'm like, well, I have that one, but this one's in like green, and green's my thing, so I really want the green one.
Yeah.
So I have the yellow one, and then I have the green one of it. But the yellow kind of looks green, so they're both my favorite still.
Why don't you have green line? I don't understand why you don't have green line on it yet.
I did.
Yeah.
It was a braid, but it's faded. So anyway. All right. He's going to be in Italy. Well, he wins. That's better
cool.
That's better than anything that I could have offered. So all right. Well, thanks guys for tuning in as always. Hopefully we'll see some of you at the Gauntlet. If not, Nick B, hopefully Pablo see at
the race this weekend.
The big club events that are going to be coming back full steam.
Racing this weekend, going for the championship. Dalton's
there you go.
Hopefully going to be on the podium. And what else is going on? Listen to the podcast. And watch my playlist. I need hours. Get your
conspiracy on. All right.
Peace out.
See you guys.
You can hit